All right, guys, just a real quick video. My videos nowadays are not that fun, I guess, because you don't see the car in action. I don't film. If I go off-road, if I go anywhere, I usually just take a picture and put it on Instagram. I'll post my Instagram down below if you want to see pictures of the car and stuff and my other cars. Anyways, so this video is a little update. Somebody asked about my wheel spacers, so I'm going to touch a little bit more on the mods that I've done to the car. For those that haven't watched my previous video on this Outback, it's a 2021 Subaru Outback XT Onyx edition. So the wheels are stock. That's what the Onyx wheels come with. I did a 2-inch lift, ready lift. I didn't install it myself, even though I could have. It's just a pain in the ass in the garage. I had somebody install it. Not very expensive. The lift, it is flawless. There's no changes in drivability. It drives the same as it did from the factory. So the lift is just basically for looks and for ground clearance if you do go off-roading and you need the ground clearance. I did it mostly for looks. I have gone off-roading in the past. It does very, very well. And but I just like the looks of it. You know, the new Wilderness Outback is out. Yes, there's some differences in the drivetrain, the crawl ratio, or whatever, but I didn't like it because it only came, I think it was just less than an inch higher than the normal Outback. So I'm like, well, that's, I don't know, I like this. This is 2 inches taller than the regular Outback, and the 235 are just a tad bit taller. So it's a little over 2 inches in height difference from the regular Outback. Now, why did I go with the 235 60/18s? Mind you, stock are 225 60/18. A lot of people that fix these things up, they do 245. I think it's, I don't know, it's they're 17-inch wheels, but they're 245, so a little bit wider wheels. I mean, wider tires. Now, the reason I stuck with 235 because I'm keeping the stock wheels. I wanted the car to look stock, but yet modified, somewhat modified. So it's kind of like, is this thing modified, or is there something different about it? That kind of thing, and not just flat out modified. So 235, you know, is the width of the tire. I think it fits good with the 7.5-inch wheels. So stock wheels are 7.5 inches, as opposed to maybe an 8-inch or an 8.5-inch wheel that you could get on an 18 or 17. When you do get an aftermarket wheel, usually they have a little bit of offset, meaning that the wheel sit further out. Here, I'll show you. This is for people that don't know. If you guys know about this, just fast forward. But usually on a negative wheel will sit a little bit further out. Bigger wheel, obviously it's going to be bigger, so it sits further out. So what I've done by keeping my stock wheels, as you can see, it looks actually pretty good. I did the 235s, which is a little bit wider than 225. You can actually tell that there are bigger tires because I had the tires put on before I left it. You could tell they're bigger. And I think the 235 gives you that wheel gap. Where the 245, I've seen some Outbacks that are 245 17s, and they're a little bit even taller than these, so it doesn't give you that gap. Sometimes they kind of look stock just because the wheel gap is not there as pronounced as it is on here. They do not look skinny. They don't look fat either, but it is an Outback. See? And those are a Subaru Trailblade XT tires. I have, I think, 3,000 miles on them. They're great. They're a little bit noisy, about 35-40 miles an hour. It's like, woo, but it's very slight. So going back, I'm sorry, I'm ADD, so I go back and forth, so bear with me, guys. So going back to the wheel spacers. So I did 1-inch wheel spacers. You see them, that's a 1-inch wheel spacer. They're hub-centric wheel spacers. If you're gonna do wheel spacers, do hub-centric. People are worried about, oh, it's gonna wear down my whatever, and it's not a concern. I had a 2015 with 1.5-inch wheel spacers. I put like 70,000 miles on that car. Never had an issue with it. So don't worry about that. Okay, so if the bearings or something will wear down at normally at 200,000 miles. Maybe these will wear down to 190,000. So it's not a concern. There's no issues. It doesn't drive different. It's nothing. So there you go. 235s on stock wheels with 1-inch wheel spacer. And it actually brings, well, it depends on the camera, but it actually, if you look at it close enough, it brings the tire flush mount with the body. So it's not sticking out or it's not in like it is stock. Flush mount. So I just think it's a good combination for stock look, yet a little bit modified. I get a lot of compliments on this. Not so much compliments, I get people asking me about it. It's like, what is that? I've never seen that Subaru. So it catches people's eyes. Here's another view of the Tourer tires. They're very aggressive. See, if you look real deep in there, you'll see it has dirty a little bit. It's been off-road, although I like to keep my car very clean. I don't like pinstripes, so I just stay away from brushes and stuff. I love the yellow fog light covers, the little lenses. Speaking of those covers, vinyl covers, I did these. This used to be red right here, so this piece just fits right on there. It just gives it a little different touch, you know. And then these guys right here, those covers, see? So it blacks out a little bit, but not a lot. I like my look. Now, the 235s, did it affect performance? Not really. Not much that you can tell. With a 2.4 liter turbo engine, I mean, there's a lot of performance there for the Outback. So you don't really, you know, tell much of a difference. Like, oh man, I really killed my power, blah blah blah. Another thing I didn't go with the 17-inch wheels is most of those are heavy wheels. If you put heavy wheels, and if you put, say for instance, KO2 tires, they're heavy tires, and then you can really feel the difference. Believe me, I had the 2015 with 17-inch wheels, and I'll put a video or pictures at the very end of this video, and they're heavy. You could tell. And that being a 2.5 liter, I was like, man, I've lost some power here. And MPGs. Now the lift in the 235s, probably I suffered about 1 MPG, maybe 1.5 at the most. When people keep their roof baskets, I have roof basket, but I don't keep it there because I don't really use it. I only put it on there when I use it. That kills your MPGs, roof basket. So if you're worried about MPGs with the lift and the tires, that's not your issue, it's a roof basket. If you put all kinds of shit up there that looks cool, that's gonna kill your MPG more than anything. But just the way it is, with nothing on the roof and just the lift and the tires, I probably lost 1.5 miles combined. But now here's a trick. I added a K&N drop-in filter, which I didn't feel much of a difference at all, but I do like K&Ns. I've rented them in all my cars for years. I'm 46 years old, been driving since I'm 15, and I've been putting K&N filters in all of my cars and motorcycles. Never had an issue. When people say, well, they don't filter, maybe they live in the desert. If you live in Arizona and your commute is in the desert, K&N probably is not the best one to have in your car. Live in the city like I do, you'll be fine with a K&N. They do filtrate just as much as a regular filter. You know, I don't quote me, I don't know, I'm not gonna get in a battle with anybody with how much they filter. They work for me. They do give you a little bit of throttle response because they allow a little bit more air in there, and I know there's a mass airflow sensor in there that, you know, calculates the air, but they do something because I feel something. It's not just psychological. But adding a drop-in K&N filter, and here's my new mod. Let me get under here. I put nameless performance muffler deletes. Oh, there they are. No muffler. Yeah, I didn't paint the whole thing just because I'm never under the car to see it, but I did paint these pipes, shit, right there, black. So I had to paint this so you wouldn't see black and then silver from the back seat. I'll show you. When you're looking at it from behind, you see nothing but black and the silver tips. unless you're under the car, you're gonna see, oh, he didn't paint the whole muffler delete. So you see what I'm saying? That's all I needed to paint, so that's why they're half silver and half black. So anyways, these things, man, I love the muffler deletes. I didn't want anything loud. It's not a performance car. So it's not my Hellcat. I had a 2019 Hellcat. That was loud from factory, loved it. Subaru Outback should not be loud. But it does have a little bit of sound. You know, the turbo models are very quiet. Most turbo cars are very quiet anyways, because they're low compression engines until you get on them. I was debating by putting the nameless mufflers on here or the muffler deletes. My son has a 2019 Outback 2.5 liter. He did the nameless muffler, and it is loud, but it's not obnoxiously loud. I could live with it, but I wanted mine just a little bit quieter. So I researched some YouTube videos and found that the muffler, the nameless mufflers, was marginal as far as sound went. So you might have been a little, super little bit louder, that it wasn't really noticeable. I'm like, I'm not gonna spend 300 or 400 bucks on something that I can barely notice. Someone with the muffler deletes. These are not loud at all. So how do I compare it to you? Now, if you do videos, you're never gonna hear exactly what it's gonna sound like in person. Videos may sound louder, may sound quieter. But if you've ever heard a Toyota Tacoma or 4Runner TRD Pro, which comes with the TRD catback system from the factory, that's about how loud this is. So if Toyota put an exhaust system in one of their cars that they sell to the general public, it's not that loud. Now, yes, the TRD Pro, it's kind of like buying an STI. You know, that you expect a little bit more sound, so it does have sound. But anyway, if you've heard a TRD Pro or TRD Pro or TRD exhaust on a Tacoma or 4Runner, that's what the sound is, as far as how loud it is. So anyway, I hope this video, the reason I do videos is just to help people out that they're on the verge of buying something they don't know, because I've been there and I'm still there. So I use YouTube a lot to find that out. So anything that I could do to help somebody make a decision, because I've made decisions, I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done this, I should have done the other one. So I hope that this video helps somebody, as many people on YouTube have helped me make decisions. So anyways, like I said, this is just an informative video for any of you that are looking for any mods on your Subaru Outback. Thank you guys. So here's a short video and some pictures of my 2015 Outback. That also had a 2-inch lift. It was an ADF lift. In the video, you see the 17-inch wheels, and I went back to the 18-inch OEM wheels with the same tires that I'm running on the blue Outback. And I told you earlier in the video I was ADD, and I told you that 1.5 miles approximately per gallon was lost with a lift in the 235 tires. And what I was getting to, which I forgot, so look at that, that looked pretty good. That's a 2015. Is with the muffler delete and the K&N drop-in filter, I gained those miles back. And actually the muffler delete, after the computer got used to it, you could definitely tell better throttle response. On a turbo car, every time you free up some exhaust back pressure, it's a good thing to a certain extent. Anyway, there you go.